Yo, what's up? We're recording a few videos back to back like this. As you can see, we still got the same clothing on. Yeah, we brought you the quarterbacks. Now we're gonna bring you the running backs over here. Um, Running backs is definitely one of the harder uh positions to try and figure out because there's so many injuries all the time. You have people that are, you know, getting angry with their teams and saying they don't want to be there no more. You have people that just get outplayed by their backups and end up not starting. There's all kinds of stuff. And then you have the other case where you got running backs that are dual threats with great pass catchers. So, yeah, we're going to give you a little insight on what we think, and we'll take it from there. Um, you got anything to say, Nick?
I think we can take Christian McCaffrey off
Okay.
because everybody knows that he's arguably number one after his season last year.
Yeah. When he got traded and still blew the fuck up.
Yeah, I mean, barring injury, of course, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think for sure we take him off the board and
Yeah,
started.
I'm cool with that. Yeah. So, do you want to start it off with who you should be drafting and who to avoid?
Oh, that's fine. My first, and I am going with him. I don't. I may reach for him in a few leagues. Bijan Robinson.
Yeah, I have him on mine as well. He's not my number one because can't really trust him yet because
Yeah,
I hadn't seen him play. But he's definitely on my list for sure. He's actually in our keeper league the first person that's going to be taken because he's ranked number 8 and he hasn't been kept because he hasn't played yet. So
ooh, they're going to get a very good player.
solid option for sure. Yes.
Yeah. I saw videos of him running over his defenders, and I
Yeah.
get it's practice,
Yeah.
but this dude gives me Marshawn Lynch vibes.
I know I
Where
want him so fucking bad. Marshawn Lynch is my favorite running back of all time, and I want that motherfucker so
yeah,
goddamn.
this dude is going to do very well in an offense that will have a struggling quarterback. I feel so they're gonna run the
Yep.
ball a lot. And dude is built like a refrigerator. So
Yeah,
I'm definitely looking at Bijan Robinson as my number one pick this year in fantasy.
that's solid. I'm gonna go with Nick Chubb as my number one because, like our last video, I said I don't trust Deshaun finger in the booty hole Watson, and I feel like Nick Chubb is gonna have a really good fucking year this year. Now that face kicker's not there no more.
Yeah,
What the fuck? What's his name? Kareem Hunt. Yeah, Kareem Hunt. Now that he's not there, he had fucking 12 touchdowns last year, which isn't too much for a running back, but he had 1,525 uh, yards,
yeah,
so that's solid. That's that's not even counting his receiving yards. So I definitely think Nick Chubb is going to have a big year this year because they don't really have too many solid options as receiver, and Nick Chubb's going to have to be a fucking workhorse.
the dude's a freaking animal. Like,
Yeah, yeah. And then for my number one worst that I'm going to go with avoid, my worst definitely aren't going to be the worst per se as like they're not good, but I'm going to tell you to avoid them based on what they have going on off the field right now. I'm definitely going to go with Saquon Barkley. And I'm saying that because Saquon, was trying to hold out for more money and shit like that. And we've seen what happens when people do that. Le'Veon Bell doesn't even play no more because of it. Pretty much his career went down the drain after he held out. And you got Zeke, who also doesn't have a team right now. That fool held out and was never the same afterwards either. And yeah, I'm gonna have to say stay away from Barkley. He's a solid option if you have to have him, but I've seen what happens when people hold out, and I'm not about it.
yeah, he did get his 1 year contract, but it's still the way that the running back thing is
Yeah,
working out.
he
He,
got like $200,000 more instead of just signing the fucking franchise tag.
yeah, it's very weird. Like it those running backs that are fighting for them. I'm
Yeah,
not mad at it, but
yeah,
fantasy purposes, I don't know if I want to deal with you on my team.
yeah, and that's a solid argument.
Yeah. My guy for my number one, and I know I get a lot of hate for it for always putting him up here. Um, I'm going Derrick Henry. And I only say it because we see how the league runs their running backs into the ground. Knowing that he has Ryan Tannehill and his backup is Will Levis, soon to be starter.
Yeah.
Um, I get it. They got DeAndre Hopkins over there. I'm not a fan of an aged run receiver saving that team. I do think that Henry will be one of those people that week 1 through 5, y'all are gonna comment on this video and say, "Oh, you're an idiot. He's doing it well." And then the ankle injuries will start to happen. Then the hamstring injuries will start to happen. He's an age running back that is a workhorse. Now, I don't want to take that risk, especially in a division that knows already that they just want to run the ball, and a bunch of teams that know that if we can try to stop Henry and just go at him, then we can win these games. They're going to be hitting him hard. And
Oh yeah.
I don't want that on my team. I traded him away last year for those reasons. So
Yeah.
he's number 1 on my list.
Yeah. Nick made the most incredible trade ever that year. It was insane. Yeah, my number 2 best is gonna have to be Austin Eckler, man. Like I know we hate his quarterback situation, Nick, because
Yeah.
fucking Justin Herbert lost Nick a couple leagues last year, so he's got that personal beef, which I get. But Austin Eckler, dog, like 915 rushing yards last year with 13 touchdowns, and then 107 receptions for 722 yards with 5 touchdowns. You can't fucking beat that. If you're in PPR, that's over 100 points right there just on receptions alone, and that's almost the same amount of like rushing and receiving yards together. Like you can't beat it. Austin Eckler, I've seen him go as the first pick overall in the past couple of mocks that I've done, and I'm not mad at it. So Austin Eckler for sure needs to be on your team if you have the option.
Yeah, and I know some people will say, well, you put him up there and not Barkley because of the quarterback situation, but Austin Eckler is Mr. PPR, honestly.
Yes.
Like, as a running back, you get a running back and receiver duel pretty much with him, and you get double points. And it's for me with Eckler, I have him as my second. So,
we didn't put Barkley up there. We put
we put
fucking Henry up there.
Yeah.
But Henry's also not the reception god like he is, like you're saying. Yeah.
And for me, Eckler is like, you don't worry about vulture status with him because it's I can get a touchdown catching or I can get a touchdown running. And he won a lot of my leagues that I did win with him last year. So I definitely have him on my list.
And he gives away free jerseys.
Yes. Make sure you follow him on Twitter for that.
Yeah. Who's your number 2 avoid?
My number 2 to avoid, and the only reason why I'm going with him is, and it's another big name that a lot of you guys are going to be going for sure.
It's who I have as number 2.
I'm going to go, as of right now, Jonathan Taylor.
Oh, it is. Oh, boy. I was the biggest Jonathan Taylor hyper in the entire world when he first came into the league. I still have the hype on him, but I do not trust him saying I don't want to be on this team anymore because it's the same kind of Deshaun Watson situation there. If you have somebody that is actively saying, I don't wish to be on this team, they are probably going to not play as well as they should or at all.
Yes. And it's him versus the owner. And he's very vocal on him wanting out.
Yes.
So there's that part of the story. There's his injuries of last year, which you had him and he was.
I traded him for Tyreek Hill.
Yes. So when he's on, but when he's injured, and it's hard to know what you're getting out of him.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third part of it is, if they do trade you, where are you going?
Yeah.
And that is my biggest thing is, if they trade you to a team that doesn't run the ball well, then I have a high running back pick in a terrible team. And I don't want to deal with that headache of what ifs all season. So I'm going to stay away from you as much as I can. And I said, and for me, him and Henry, it's not that they're not talented. It's just the headaches that come with you, I don't want to deal with throughout multiple teams and multiple games and all that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's completely agree. Yeah. I'm right there with you. Who is your number 3 best?
I got to go with my guy, Tony Pollard.
Fucking same.
This guy has been falling in mock drafts that I've done, and I'm kind of amazed at how that's even possible.
Yeah.
From what he did last year, everybody's saying he needed the keys to the Cadillac, and now he has it.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it. A lot of people were like, "Oh, well, it's easier when you have somebody in front of you and you just come in and do this stuff." But the talent is there. He knows how to. I mean, the numbers that he put up.
He was a backup last year. Had over 1,000 rushing yards with 9 touchdowns, with 39 receptions for 371 yards and 3 touchdowns as a backup.
Yes.
Yeah, as a backup, you know, you don't get much better with that. You know, like there's not much else that you can say. Like,
I am all in on Tony Pollard. I'm not reaching for him, but if he's there, when
fuck that, I'm gonna reach for him.
I might go a little bit more than I want to, especially.
I have 13th pick in a draft. And he's on there. I'm taking him, like for sure. He's not gonna be, but
I mean, the thing is, if you reach a bit for him, I can't be mad at you for it because there's going to be a lot of eyes on these receivers, and just what he can do alone, talent-wise, I'm not mad if you go and get him. He's one of those running backs I will go and get, and I'm like, all right, I'm solid. I got a solid RB1. I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. Who is your 3rd overall avoid?
This is a guy, I know he's on your list for sure. Rhamondre Stevenson.
Oh, he's not on my list.
Oh, he's not on your list. Well, he's on my list. I know a lot of people are high on him. Don't get me wrong, he did good last year. He did really well. He was a guy I was trying to trade for to sneak trades in.
Yeah.
But the fact that they're trying to bring in Zeke, the fact they're trying to bring in Fournette and all these other people, I don't trust what's going on in New England. The Mac Jones trade rumors all last year, and then the defensive coordinator calling offensive coordinator plays, and it's just weird over there right now. And they don't ever utilize a running back well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, last year was an exception, I guess.
Yeah.
His numbers. But I don't want that headache either. I don't want if Zeke goes over there or Fournette goes over there and then I get vulture play the whole time he's there. I don't want to deal with that. If he's lower in my ranks, I'll look at him.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not somebody that's on my radar is like, yeah, I want him. Like, I want that guy on my team. Like, if he falls, yeah, take a look at him. But I'm not looking at him as a must-have on my team.
Yeah. My number 3 worst is going to go to Josh Jacobs. He literally flew out of Las Vegas and said, I don't want to be on this team no more. And he's ranked like, what did I say? The number 9th overall on here. But this is the exact same scenario that I saw with Antonio Brown. And I do not want any part of it. So Josh Jacobs is going to be my number 3 worst to avoid. So
yes.
Yeah. My number 4 best that I'm going to sneak in here that I haven't heard anyone talk about yet is going to be Jamal Williams.
Mm-hmm.
So he's on the Saints this year, and Alvin Kamara is suspended for the first 3 games. I understand the first 3 games, like he's going to come back for sure. Yeah, but Jamal Williams had over 1,000 rushing yards with 17 touchdowns last year as a backup.
Yeah.
So with him being the starter for the first 3 games, I'm willing to bet Jamal Williams is going to have a way bigger role as the Saints running back over there this year, and I'm going to throw him in there and say, let's do it.
He does have Derek Carr over there to help out.
Yep. He didn't have that big of a passing game last year in the receiving end, so I'm not going to even bring that up. But for sure, as a running back, I will give it to Jamal Williams.
I like it. I believe I'm on
Number 4.
my fourth pick, right?
Yeah.
On who I want.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've been debating this, and there's a few people on this list that I do really want, but I'm gonna go with another rookie, Jamar Gibbs, Detroit. Um, Swift going out. We saw
Jamal
what they,
Williams going out.
yeah, we saw what they did with running backs last year.
Yeah.
The dude can play. Dude's big. He's not Bijan big, but from what you've seen in I get his training camp.
Yeah.
But he's easily number one starter over there. He has a team that likes to throw the ball, so it's going to give him his openings he needs to. I just feel that he's going to be a solid lower ranked running back for you that ends up moving up faster that you can steal in a lower round. I wouldn't say he's a sleeper status because his name is in the top pretty much 15 almost.
Yeah.
But he's definitely somebody that I'm looking at if I run out of if running backs just start going off the board. I'm looking at him. I want him. I think he's going to give you solid numbers this year. Yeah, and I'm high on him.
Yeah.
If you're watching this in my leagues, don't get
solid. I can't argue. My number 4 to avoid is going to be Kamara, just because he's suspended for the 3 games, and then Jamal Williams being there. Don't really know what's going to happen with him, so I for sure will be avoiding him. He's not even being kept in my Dynasty League, so I have no problem with not picking him. Somebody else can worry about that.
Yes.
Who do you have at number 4?
I picked him in our mock draft, and then I didn't sit right with me. I'm going to go with Isaiah Pacheco.
Interesting. Okay.
And the only reason why is I don't know what you are doing over there.
Yeah. No one does.
Yeah.
I don't think they do.
Until I know what you're doing over there, I'm not comfortable picking you if there's other viable options. Like I know Swift's going under him. There's a few other people going under him that, I have a little more faith in. I'm pretty sure Alvin Kamara will fall under him with the suspension now. But I just don't feel comfortable picking you unless you're in a falling situation.
Yeah.
Knowing that your starting spot could be taken at any point. No, I mean, we're looking at Patrick Mahomes. We know his number 1 is Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
But after that, are you going to run? Are you going to pass? What are you doing? And I'm not comfortable wasting. I don't want to say wasting, but using one of my picks for you.
Yeah, that's a solid argument. Who do you have as your number 5 that you want?
I've been contemplating between 2 people.
Okay.
And I will say Alexander Madison is my honorary 5th.
Yeah.
He finally gets the start of it.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go with Dameon Pierce.
Interesting. Okay.
He's a guy that blew up. He's been working out well. He has a lot of new weapons on this offense with them. A rookie quarterback, I get it. But he has a new head coach, tight ends that know how to block for him, and he has Noah Brown on wide receiver that knows how to block. I do think that his goal is, I believe he said he wants 1,000 yards this year. Yeah. I think he can reach it. I think that he's falling off the radar because the Texans are going to, quote unquote, be one of the worst teams this year. But I do think that he will be I'll say a top 15 running back.
I can see that. I think he finished as number 14 last year, something like that. So, yeah, I can see that for sure. My number 5 is going to go to Bijan. Like I said, he was on my list. Yeah, you said everything that we needed to talk about him. There's no more to say. My number 5 to avoid at all costs is going to be Ezekiel fucking Elliott. He's not on a team. Don't care if he ends up on the Patriots at all. I think he's washed. There's no other way to say it. So Zeke, I'm sorry, but you are no longer going to be any kind of asset.
Yes.
Who's your very last one?
My very last one is a guy that I sadly had on my team, and I didn't want him, but I didn't want to drop him. Cam Akers, bro, you are not going to get picked in any of my teams. I don't care if it's a last pick. I will pick 2 kickers if I have to.
Yikes.
I do not want anything outside of Cooper Kupp from the Rams.
Yep.
I do not.
Higbee's a solid maybe. But,
Yes. Yeah, I can look at Higbee for sure.
Yeah.
Cam Akers, bro, you were so inconsistent for 2 seasons, it seems like now. I'm good. I'll let somebody else deal with that headache over there as a whole of the team.
That's a solid argument you have there, and I agree with every word of it. So, yeah. So that was our running back list. If you disagree, comment and let us know why. If you agree, comment and tell us that we're geniuses. And like we said, we will be going live every Sunday morning before the start of the games at 8 a.m. on YouTube as well as TikTok. You can follow us on both, and we will give you every insight that we believe will work. Last year, we had plenty of people that did not listen to us and came back crying later on and said, I should have listened to y'all. Y'all are the only ones that know what to do. So definitely be on the lookout for that. We will have more videos out soon. So until then, catch you later.
How much I'm working for this? I swear my dreams are too important.